a nation that sent its men off in ships to sail across the world, literally to the other side of the world. They didn't have any charts. They made the charts as they went along, sometimes by trial and error. But it's an extraordinary achievement, and they would have sailed into this harbour not knowing what was going to be around every corner, and then discovered this sheltered little bay here, and from that grew this city. And I'm entirely aware that the effects on the existing populations were not always beneficial, to put it mildly, but you cannot ignore the reality of what an extraordinary achievement it was to literally go to the other side of the planet in boats made of wood, rope and cloth. And found cities like this. Back in 1788, I think it said on that plaque, when the city was formed, there would have been just a few wooden houses and ramshackle structures around the bay that gradually became more sophisticated and more numerous, of course. If you look at the map, this whole river inlet, this whole river mouth, is just a maze of bays and little inlets and little dog legs. And it must have taken a certain amount of bravery. I mean, they used to send the small boats out to scout it out first, and just be aware where the shallows are, where the rocks are, what was a dead end and what was a through passage. But even so, to be the skipper of a big 18th century ship and to pilot it into a river mouth like this took a huge amount of skill and bravery. Right, so here we are approaching the legendary opera house. I'm going to turn around and get it in selfie mode, I guess. And here it is.
Because I'm not very good, it just means I've got that extra.
And I kind of feel almost like I've done my touristic duty. And my next few expeditions are not necessarily going to be to the traditional tourist places. Apart from anything else, the sheer mass of humanity to which, of course, I'm contributing kind of clutters the experience a little bit. It's the uncertainty principle of quantum physics, whereby the energy you use to observe an event changes the event, thus rendering your observation invalid. So many people experiencing this thing that it changes the experience for everybody that's involved in it, and I would love to be able to experience it with nobody else around. Anyway, right, I'm just going to turn it off so I can get it into selfie mode. It would be foolhardy to attempt to walk backwards towards this structure, but I'm going to do it. There it is over my shoulder.
Sounds like blue jeans.
Excuse me? Hello? Can you help me to take a photo? Can you help me to take a photo? No, this one.
I've just been shanghaied by a group of Chinese people. Hello! To take photos of them.
Where's he from?
Where am I from?
You think he's from the UK too?
I am from the UK, yes.
He's visiting from Bristol.
Oh, really? My daughter lives in Bristol.
Yeah,
My
really?
youngest daughter lives in
Yeah.
Bristol, yeah. It's a lovely city.
Yeah, it is a good city.
Good.
Yeah.
You sound Australian, though.
Oh yeah, I lived here.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right.
So it's weird. I feel like a tourist. So we never come to the Opera House.
You know, I lived in London for 35 years and I never went to any of the tourist sites.
Oh, I went to London for the first time last year. I'm possibly the only person in Australia that's never been to London. Over 40. And it was the best. Did all the tourist stuff. I was just walking around the city going, this is amazing. Yeah, but here it's like, oh yeah, Opera House.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I tend to avoid the normal tourist spots. I seek out the weird places.
Yeah.
But you know, I kind of do what you've got to do because I do a YouTube vlog of
do you? Cool.
my travels. Yeah,
Oh, good one.
I'm a musician. I
Are
tour
you?
all over the place.
Oh,
and
cool.
I make just like a video diary of my tours. Yeah.
Have you been to much music since you've been here? Been to see any?
No, we're playing here tonight.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
At the
we're
Opera
in
House?
No, in the State Theatre.
Theatre. That's a great theatre.
It's beautiful.
It is such a winning theatre.
It
I
is.
saw Dawn French there recently.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was really good. I took my parents.
My wife loves Dawn French.
Yeah, she was really good actually.
Yeah.
It was a real good storytelling night.
Yeah.
No, there's lots of good music.
I
going on.
noticed it's very vibrant. I walked down to Newtown this morning.
Yeah, that's where I live.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
staying up in
Where is that?
Camperdown.
Yeah, Camperdown. I live on the edge of Newtown and Camperdown.
Right, so I walked
That's
into Newtown and it was vibrant.
Yeah, it's good.
It
King
is,
Street's great.
and lots of small music venues.
Yeah.
It's a good place. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a liquor licensing situation where you needed to be a big super pub to get a liquor license, and then that all changed.
Right.
It's called the Raise the Bar campaign, and it basically meant that lots of smaller venues could get liquor licenses, do live music, get rid of the pokies, all of that sort of thing. So the music
Pokies?
scene,
What's a pokey?
like a poker machine, like a
Oh, okay,
gambling.
right.
And and so now there's lots of smaller venues who are able to, sell booze late at night, have live music, all that stuff.
Good, because that's where the big acts come from. They all start doing that.
Yeah.
And it should be preserved and continued.
Yeah. What's happening at the State Theatre tonight?
We're playing the Tubular Bells 50th anniversary shows.
Yeah, right.
We've
Cool.
been doing it since 2021.
What's your instrument?
I play guitar.
Yeah, cool.
It's better than working it.
My daughters both play on a music show. They're teenagers, but my youngest one, who's 13, is just like bass, guitar, baritone, uke. Just can't get her off it.
It's just so hard to make a living at it nowadays.
Oh, for sure.
But
Yeah.
they should keep playing because
Yeah.
making music is occupies more areas of the brain simultaneously than any other known human activity.
Isn't it so good in that way?
Well, it's recommended for dementia patients.
Yeah.
And I've had many experiences where you've got people with dementia who are catatonic and just don't react to anything. But if you play a piece of music that they know, suddenly they can remember the words and sing along. They can't even remember their own names, but they'll remember a piece of music. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's pretty incredible like that.
It is.
Yeah. I'm coming to a gig here in November.
Sorry guys, do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know why they're blocked off all this?
Have they blocked it off?
As in this
Or
bit
is
Oh,
it
here?
that.
usually like this?
As in this bit here?
Yeah, well all of them are. Like there's fences along all the bits.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Just for security.
Oh, okay.
No.
Which is probably okay.
Right, I'm going to go back
Yeah, go
to
for
the
it.
theatre.
Nice
Enjoy.
to
Nice
chat.
talking to you. Take it easy.
Just had a generational moment.
Yeah. I'm 21,
So
so...
you weren't born when I was born.
So let's also do the Sydney Harbour Bridge shot. This is impossible to frame. I have to find out how to do the zoom thing with the GoPro. Right, I'm going to go back to the theatre. Now, I believe this is what's known as a bottle tree. The Queensland bottle tree. A strange beastie, if ever there was one. We're in the Botanical Gardens. And my inner battle between whether to document rather than take part, or to take part rather than document, came down on the side of taking part, but I keep being compelled to document. So I'm not quite sure which side is won. It's hot. I might sit down under the tree for a few minutes respite. I was going to sit down at the top of the steps to the Opera House, but was accosted by an Australian woman and her daughter, I assume, who heard my accent. Started talking to me, but it's nice to talk to complete strangers. The sailor in me would absolutely love to have access to a boat here. So much to explore. That fort out there in the middle of the river. And this Gin Palace skipper has decided to come in here. I don't know, they might be fishing actually. I don't know. Yes, they are fishing.
He seems to have his life more intact than I do.
Under the sea. Alcatraz.
And I guess when I get to the head of this inlet, if I turn to the right and go back into the city, I can make my way back to the theatre, which I think I will probably do. Have a bit of a lie down, yes. Not ready for us till 4 o'clock. The get-in, as we saw in the street, the get-in to this theatre is so difficult. The city only allow them to do it, I think it's between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. or something, so they had to get in this morning at 5 o'clock. Start the loading at 5 o'clock. Now I wonder what we'd catch in here. Water's relatively clear. And I've seen a lot of bait fish, a lot of fry swimming around, so there'll be bigger fish in there too. Reminds me a little bit of the Ulster in Hamburg, but only a little bit. Well, look at this for a fine specimen. Absolutely stunning tree. This is the Mexican bald cypress, and it's a long way from home. Look at that, absolutely amazing. There's also this fine thing, which is a jungle all on its own. It's a kind of, looks like a rhododendron. It's a Ficus macrophylla F. columnaris. Main feature of this plant is its lack of a single main trunk. Instead it has 10 or more trunks, each having arisen from an aerial root. In 1882 it was recorded that the largest of the old trees on Lord Howe Island covered an area of about 1 hectare. So as we approach it, you can see that it has sort of clusters of trunks. What an amazing plant. Wow. And there's another truly magnificent mammoth beast over there. I don't know what that is, but we'll go and find out. This is a day's trip in itself. This is Botanical Gardens. When you get out in the sun, there's just a little chill in the wind. So it's probably not beach weather, but I think up in Brisbane it probably will be. That's another wonderful specimen. Yeah, oh good, this one may drop branches without warning. Well, we wouldn't want to be underneath one of those when it falls, would we? Okay, I'm really going back to the theatre now, really honest. So this tree has a very, very weird life story. Again, it's one of those with more roots above the ground than under it, seemingly, and according to this plaque, it starts life as a seedling growing high on existing trees and slowly strangles them as its roots reach the ground. Often planted as a shade tree in parks and large gardens, the roots spread widely and will damage pipes and paths, etc. Fibres from the wood were used by Aborigines for nets. So this starts as a sort of parasitical growth, kind of like mistletoe high up in the tree, and then the roots drop down and it kills its host. Who would have thought it, eh? The viciousness of the plant world. So, having spent the day in bright sunlight, we're back indoors in the semi-darkness that is our natural condition, and we're going to have a poke around this beautiful theatre. And we're going to start, as ever, in the roof. Oh, you don't get the... Oh yeah, you can see the dome thing now. But, they've put the lights on. It was better when they didn't have the lights on. But I'm not going to complain. Obviously they've got work to do, but there's the scenario up in the dome. Let's go a-wandering. There's Monitor World.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right. No worries. Just all of it.
Not sure if that takes us to the auditorium. I've got to figure out how to get to the auditorium. You'll be away.
Yeah, it's going fine. It's all we're all plugged it up.
Oh, look, we've got a set of steps. We can go wandering. Hurrah! Maxie boy, you're going to come down the front with me tonight. Come down here. Why not?
Is it? Yeah, it is.
These used to be the gates where they kept the Christians behind, and once the animals were allowed out into the auditorium, they would then open these gates and let the Christians into the auditorium to be torn apart by the lions. It was great. It was the old equivalent of the X Factor. That's the only way nowadays you can have Christians torn apart by lions on prime lifetime TV. There's a fine looking fella. Look up there in the dome. Look at that massive great chandelier, and the lighting's really beautiful. Authorised personnel only. Extraordinary frieze work on this door, if that's what it is. It's a great and beautiful thing. So you can just picture the scenes in here at the height of the belly pock. Belly pock is nothing to do with belly dancing. Look at this little ladies' cloakroom. Probably ladies anyway. I don't know. Let's find out the hard way. A preponderance of gold. Pioneer's room, gentlemen. Ah, yeah, that's the gents. And some hunting, shooting, fishing type thing. Character lounge rooms are another unique feature of the stage theatre. Squatter's Daughter, British Empire Films. The discovery of the site of Sydney by Governor Phillip. I guess that's where we were in the harbour earlier, where the quays are. And the Opera House is kind of there, probably. I don't know, I'm extrapolating, I might be completely wrong. Marvellous. That's one character lounge. Gentlemen's are locked upstairs for the duration of this event. Yep, we go, Wow. Wow. The word opulent comes to mind. Oh. It is fantastic that this has been preserved. And not allowed to fall into disrepair and disuse. It is truly wonderful. But there must have been many such theatres that were not so carefully looked after. No standing or dancing permitted on this level. There we are. And there's one level above us. But that's all the climbing I'm going to do for now. Walked for miles today. Good evening, sir. How are you? Well, that's good. That's what we seek. What a stunning place of work you have.
Oh yes, you don't mind getting up to come here.
So glad that it's been preserved.
Just turned 95.
Yeah, 1929 it was built, yeah. Thank you. Amazing. Is there a celebration planned for its centenary?
Oh, hopefully I'll still be around. There should be.
Sure you will.
You want to check out this room in here?
The gentleman's lounge?
No, this is the ladies.
Ah. Now, why would I want to check out the ladies?
Well,
But I will, at your invitation. And when the police come, I'll tell them that it was your idea.
pretty impressive. As you can see, it's called the butterfly room.
Oh, wow.
No, just here.
Yeah.
I just need to stock up on some stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the butterfly lampshades. Look, and all the lampshades are butterflies. Wow. I noticed there's a press cutting upstairs that says, character lounges are a feature of the new State Theatre.
Yes.
The gentleman's
Why
one
they-
is all hunting,
Probably,
shooting, fishing.
Well, back in them days, they could smoke.
No, indeed. Indeed, I was a professional.
The
Good.
story was that they renovated this room about 2 years ago when they found, because they covered these walls like this. So all these walls were covered like this, but then they discovered all this ornate painting
Yeah.
and uncovered them, so they spent $200,000 having restorers come in to expose them.
Well, we're glad they did. Stunning, isn't that? I mean, I was just thinking, you could imagine the scene in here in the 20s, in the Belle Epoque, you know, when the good ladies of Sydney would come to, I suppose, the opera before they had...
Oh, well, it opened as a picture theatre.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay. The gentleman was kind enough to show us the Wurlitzer in the basement earlier on,
Oh, yeah.
which is a stunning thing.
Mm. And did you see the German
Yes,
engine?
the submarine engine.
There's
Yeah.
nothing out there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read the startup procedure just in case I would need to.
And the big,
The pipes.
the pipes.
Yeah. Good.
And all those other theatres that used to be in Sydney.
Sorry?
All the other theatres that used to be in Sydney. So down, they have a tour. They
Oh,
take
right.
people around, and on the walls down there, there's, I think at one stage there was 28 theatres in Sydney,
Right.
and there's only 2 left.
Oh. What were these little gated alcoves for?
Yeah, well, as you can see, this place has been refurbished. I don't know why, but see how it changes mid. See past that sculpture or that bust.
That alcove, yeah.
See, it changes colour,
Oh, yeah.
and plus there's things on the wall that don't match, like this.
Right.
There's ends.
Oh,
So
yeah.
something's been done.
Right.
Whereas it was at that side or that side. I don't know what they did.
But what
Those, I don't know what they were for.
I like to think it's where they let the Christians out into the arena once the wild animals had come out.
Well, there's only speakers in there now.
Yeah,
They serve no purpose really.
no.
Just make the place look a bit more appealing.
So this must have seen some performances in its time. I bet Edna Everage performed here, didn't she? Dame Edna would have
Way
played here.
back, yeah.